guys and their records. Well, one old guy for now. Mike and I can't get into the studios with Sydney's lockdown restrictions becoming ever so tight around the community. Yes, I miss the studio, I miss Mike and his expertise, but Mike and I decided that we can still bring you some fun while we wait for these restrictions to lift. The first segment that we'll be looking at throughout this week is original versions versus cover versions. Do cover versions live up to the hype and the expectation that they've covered a great song? Or do cover versions actually improve on the original? There have been so many cases where the cover versions may actually be better than the original version. So we'll be looking at this throughout this week. First up is one of Australia's greatest songs ever written. In polls, it gets voted as one of the greatest songs, and that is the Easybeats, Friday on My Mind. Admittedly, I don't have the single for Friday on My Mind. I've got it on a compilation album, and what a compilation, because it just justifies the Easybeats were one of Australia's premier bands. They had a string of hits, you know, things like Wedding Ring and She's So Fine and Sorry, but their international hit was elusive. So they found themselves in 1966 in London recording, and they came up with a song called Friday on My Mind. Now, there is everything to like about this song. Structurally, it's great guitarage, the do-do-do-do-do-do, whatever it is. You got great lyrics, of this persona slaving away all week, and then Friday comes and he just wants to go out with his girl and have a great time around town. Come Monday, well, the cycle starts again, the monotony starts again. Great lyrics. Okay, you got Stevie Wright's high energy voice, and it's just a great song. Okay, now it reaches number 1 in Australia, of course, but also number 2 in New Zealand, number 6 in the UK charts, and number 1 in the Netherlands, etc., which then becomes the Easybeats' first international hit. Okay, and like I said, its legacy is it always gets voted in polls as being one of Australia's greatest songs ever written. How does a cover version stand up against such a great song? And the cover version that I'll be looking at today is Gary Moore's Friday on My Mind. It is off the album Wild Frontier, okay, which was released in 1987. Now, by this point, Gary Moore is an established solo artist, and a great one too, one of the greatest guitarists ever to step on stage or in a recording studio. He is an immense guitar god. Okay, now by this point, he'd already done his stints in Thin Lizzy. He had already released a series of albums like, you know, Run for Cover. You know, he had hit singles like Out in the Fields with his old bandmate Phil Lynott. So he comes up with this album called Wild Frontier, which was a combination of Celtic, hard rock and blues. And amongst all these songs was the gem, Friday on My Mind. Now, I love his version. You know, why would I buy a cover version of Friday on My Mind? Because it's a great song, but it's also a great artist covering that song. So, yes, you've got this signature guitar work from Gary Moore. This is also a very, very tight version of it. Okay, the musicianship on this is brilliant. Okay, and yes, Gary Moore does a lot to the song, but I'm going to leave it to you guys. Does an 80s version of Friday on My Mind live up to expectations against the Easybeats original version of the song? Okay, I'll leave that up to you. Okay, we look forward to your comments. Please comment, and it should be a lot of fun. Now, like I said, I'm missing you, Mike. I hope these restrictions lift ASAP so we can get back into the studio and have our own fun there. Until then, okay, bye for now. Don't forget, tomorrow there is another comparison. Okay, please, like I said, comment which one's a better one, and don't forget, send in your favourite cover versions also. See you tomorrow.